Hi, everyone. Welcome to my live stream again. This is Julie coming at you from Western Pennsylvania. I am once again on my deck and I am having technical difficulties today because it is really windy here, but it was nice out and I just had to get out. So, unfortunately, you guys got to deal with my phone, but that's okay. We're going to make this work. It's gorgeous out. I hope you guys are all having a great weekend. It's a gorgeous Saturday here in Western Pennsylvania. Um, I want to wish everybody a happy weekend. We were all glad to get here. It has been a whirlwind of a week. I don't know about you guys, but it has just been crazy around my house this week. So we got a holiday coming up tomorrow, don't we? Tomorrow is Father's Day, right? And we are just here today. I want to wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day. We love you all. And I'm going to give a little bit of a kudos to another group who takes care of our dads. And I'm doing a special one today because I want to say thank you to my mom. My mom is an amazing individual. She takes such great care of my dad. She is a total rock star, and I love her with all my heart. So, along with her, a couple other heroes are my sister and my brother in law. My sister has been there for my parents through thick and thin. She's very lucky. She's a school teacher, so she's got summers off and has been there to support my parents and do so much for them. And also my brother in law. He is not working right now, and he has been amazing taking my parents to doctor appointments. And along with that, he's taking care of his dad too. So, another amazing individual. And I also want to give a shout out to my significant other, Mark. Um, while he has been there he does so many things for my family. He's the outside guy. He has supported them at their home, taking care of the outside for them. He's also been on standby this week. Unfortunately, my dad's been in the hospital, but I got great news a little while ago. He is coming home today. Yay. So he's going to be home in time for Father's Day tomorrow. And so Mark has been amazing for them too and was on standby in case he needed support. So to all of the members of my family, we've always been very close. They are my heroes. They are rock stars, and I appreciate them, and I want them to know that. I love them with all my heart, and they have my total respect. So to all of you, thank you so much for having my back when I've had to be working overtime this week and going a little bit above and beyond. I couldn't be there, but you guys were. And I don't want you to think I don't appreciate it. And it has not gone unnoticed. And to any other caretakers out there, you have my utmost respect. And thank you for what you do as well. So, with that being said, we got a great topic this week. I was really excited to do this one. Um, and I have to tell you, this is something that I have lived through in my life more than once. Being frugal is something that I know my grandparents went through. I remember my parents going through it, and I remember being part of that. Back in the 70s, I remember us being told, turn the lights out, turn the lights out. Or my parents with their vehicles, one had an even numbered license plate and the other one had an odd number license plate. So you could only go on the days to the gas stations if you were an even or an odd. And I remember long lines at the gas station. So a lot of our parents, our grandparents went through some rough times, and we are now. And I know with the young kids out there, this is a hard concept for them. Because they've never experienced it before. But I got some tips today, and I'm going to put my own 2 cents in. But I want to make clear that being frugal and being cheap are two different things. Being frugal is something that you intentionally make a decision to save money and live within your means. You know, a lot of the younger kids haven't had to do that. You know, we've had some pretty good years. You know, we've been very fortunate, and that's come to an end. So we need to live within our means, and we live in a very materialistic environment. So we really need to reassess what we're doing these days, and look at things very differently. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. And hey, Mark, um, and that was so awesome. Love you, babe. I love you too. And we got this. You know, we're going to do this. So let's talk. Let's get this started. So, the first thing I am going to recommend, and I did this, believe it or not, when I was a new happy homeowner, which was quite a while ago, but you know, I had to learn and understand that whenever you buy a home, there's a lot of different bills that you got to deal with that, you know, your parents always dealt with, but now it's a reality for you. And what I did was, you know, I knew I had to budget. So I wrote down, you know, what my income was every month. And then I learned to keep track of all the expenses that I had every month, you know, whether it's your electricity or your water and your sewer and whatever other bills you have, you know, I had to keep track of that. And I also had to start keeping track, and, you know, I had to document, you know, what was the upkeep for my vehicle? You know, what was my monthly payment for that vehicle? You know, gas every week to put in that. So I actually wrote it down and I kept track of it. And I learned a budget. I based on what my income was, and it was really helpful to me. So that's one thing you definitely like, especially now, you know, and I need to do it again. You know, I'm not going to lie, you know, my income is different now all these years later, and my budgeting is very different. You know, all of our expenses are going up, and I really need to start taking a second look at that and started doing it again. So, you know, a good tip, you know, write it down, you know, and I'm telling you, it opens your eyes. Um, and like I said already, live within your means. You know, you know what your budget is. And once you know that, you need to spend less than what you earn. I know you don't want to hear that. We're in a very materialistic society right now, but don't go into unnecessary debt. You know, there's a lot of people right now, they're putting off buying a home. This is not a good time to buy a home. You know, the interest rates are up, and, you know, the expenses are up monthly to support a home. Don't go into that unnecessary debt. You don't need that. Um, you know, keep within your budget, keep within your means, you know, understand where it's coming from. We all right now, we need to learn to live on less. You know, we need to prioritize what are our needs versus what are our wants. And, you know, we've lived on the high hog for a while now. And, you know, we were very fortunate that we could get some of those things that we wanted. And we're not there now. We have to understand and concentrate on what our needs are. And I'm going to give you an example here. And this just happened today. I actually had a rug in my bathroom, and it was a rug that, you know, goes around your toilet. And I had been nursing it for a little while, you know, trying to do that frugal thing. And I was trying to trim it off. It was kind of disintegrating on the corners. And I'm sorry, we got some really bad winds here today, even though it's nice. And I think that's why I was having technical difficulties earlier and couldn't do this on my laptop like I normally do. As you can see, my wind's blowing in the wind. My hair's blowing there. But anyway, what happened today was I have nursed the rug all I could. And it was really at a point was really pathetic. And I just couldn't do it anymore. So it is now in the trash bin. And do I need another rug right now? No, I don't. That is definitely a not a necessity. It's a want, and I don't need it right now. I've got two other rugs in there, so you know I did some adjustments, and we're good. You know I'm good. So you know you need to learn. what's a need versus, what's a want. So I'm doing it as well. Um, and we need to understand, um, when you're trying to be frugal, this is not something that's a chore. It really is not. Being frugal is kind of challenging. And it's one that we can all take on. This is not something that need to worry about, or, we can stress over. See it as an approach, and it's something that's positive. I've done some things now that, are things that I don't typically do, but they're things that I've done, and I've actually done them in the past, and I've had to revisit it. One thing that I do, and it's something that's little, but it is something I do, is, I take a lunchbox to work, and, well, I don't take food to work, but what I do is I love seltzer water. So I take my seltzer water and a cup, and I take ice with me in a storage bag. And that storage bag gets used every day that week. I don't use a new storage bag every day. And at the end of the week, I don't throw away that storage bag. I actually donate that to, my boyfriend, Mark, because he does a wonderful job at taking care of the cat litter. So he uses that for doing that task. So that bag that I use gets used a lot for different things, and it actually has a long lifespan. So that's one thing I do. And another thing I do, which I've always done, but it actually, and I've done it in a couple different ways, is, whenever I go to the store, whatever store it is, I keep the bags that I get from that store. And I use those bags, I reuse them for my smaller trash cans. And it works. It works great. And I know I've talked to other people who do the same thing I've done. And also, what I've done with those storage bags, I no longer need to do it. But my mom used to be a home healthcare person. And with her patients, they were elderly patients, and they had diapers. And she would always ask me for my extra bags, and I would give them to her. So they were getting reused. So there is nothing wrong with recycling and coming up with creative ways on how you can reuse bags or reuse other items that you have in your household, and use them to the extent of their lifespan. And that's a great way to be frugal. It's an adventure to do this. You can take the challenge on. I have to come up with different ways to save yourself some money. Um, and this is more of a serious thing, during these hard times, and in talking about being frugal. Um, I know that there's people out there who have addictions. They have shopping addictions, and they do impulse purchases. It's a thrill for them. It's a kick for them. And I know right now, with the way the economy is, um, people like that are really struggling and are really having a hard time. And my sympathy goes out to you, but also my hope. And, I ask of you to reach out for that help if you haven't already. If you're not already in therapy, or you're not seeking a psychiatrist, on this channel, I tell you, I am not an expert. I am not a doctor. I have no training in that area. I am not a therapist, nothing like that. Um, Reach out to help now more than ever. The last thing you need to do is react on your impulses and go into debt and get yourself into a situation, where, you can't dig yourself out of. Um, get into therapy, take care of that. Do not react on impulse purchases. When I shop, I use a list. And it's very rare that I go off of that list unless it's something that I think I've forgotten that is a necessity. So make a shopping list. Do that. Don't go beyond that list. Stay focused. Um, and I've already talked about this, about using my storage bags. They say use it time and time again until it's worn out. Like the carpet, the rug that was in my bathroom. Use it until you can't do it anymore. And whenever it's used up, you need to decide, is it a necessity or is it a want? And in my case, it was a want. Do without. There's nothing wrong with doing without. I am not suffering. We're not suffering in my household because we don't have that rug in our bathroom. We can wait. We can wait. I can save money until I can get another one. But, utilize things over again. Don't just do the one time thing. Um, and the other thing is, there's a saying, a penny saved is a penny earned. um, Even in these trying times, if you can be frugal, use things over and over again, decide what's a need, what's a necessity, um, you can still save. I promise you that. Because I have saved. It's not the way I've saved in the past, but I have saved a little, and little things add up. Those little savings are gonna buy, or they're gonna be worth it over time. And I may not be able to do the big stuff right now, but I can do the little stuff, and you can too. You know, Take those little, see it as a victory. Take those little victories that you have, build on them over time, and I promise you, will be able to get there, and you will see success, and you will, be proud of yourself that you can do those little things. Little things matter during these times. We may not be able to climb a mountain, but we can do those little foothills, and we can get there. And over time, it'll matter. And so, the one final thing I want to say is, a better way to put it is act your wage. You know, Base your lifestyle on, whatever it is you're making. Mark and I, we don't go out to eat anymore. We always enjoyed that every once in a while, and we do it with friends and or family, and none of us can do that right now, and that's okay. you know we are living within our means, and we're all doing fine. We're all content. Um are we overly happy? Of course not. Who is right now? um but we're content, and we all have roofs over our head, and we're living within our means, and we all have food, enough food on our table. I know a lot of people don't, and there are a lot of places now that you can reach out to for that. um but definitely, in a nutshell, we need to be frugal right now. And there are so many ways we can do that. And we're not going to suffer because of that. We have so many people who have come before our time, whether it's been our grandparents, our parents, they've lived through it, and we can too. Um, and Mark, yeah, I know. Yes, I can love being home. And he does. And he does work part-time. He does. And so he is still bringing in some money, which is very appreciated and very helpful. And I hope he knows that. But the days he's off, he's helping my parents. He's there for my sister and brother-in-law. He's doing things that are still beneficial and supportive of my family and our friends. And so there is a value in that, even though there's not a dollar associated with it. We need to be there for each other, right? That's what my whole channel is about, is being there for each other. And that's why I wanted to talk about being frugal today, because it's something we can all do. We just need to focus, put it down on paper if you have to, work together, work with your family, work with your significant other if you have one. Do it yourself. Do it yourself. I did it. Mark did it, when he was alone before we got together. My girlfriend Tina, who was on my live stream last week, she's by herself. I mean, she's doing it. My friend Dan is doing it, who's been here as well. We can do this. And that's what it's all about, right? We can get through this time. It's hard. And it may be a little while before we get through it, but we'll do it. I'm right. I'm right. So, with that being said, I got a teaser for next week. I always try to give a teaser unless I forget. Um, yes, we can. Oh my gosh. Hi. I've not seen you on my channel before, but welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you so much for joining today. And I hope I'm helping you. And I appreciate you here. Please come back next week, because here we are. Here is the topic I am going to do next week. Why is it that no one wants to work anymore. And we've all seen it. We've seen it. I know I've seen it. I'm seeing it at work. I'm seeing it all over the place. I talk to other people who are still working, and we're overwhelmed, and places can't get people. It's not just where I am, it's everywhere right now. Nobody wants to work. And I've seen stuff on the internet, but I am going to put my spin on it. And I am going to give my 2 cents on it. You know how I am. And I've already started my notes, I've started my research, and we're going to talk about that next week. And like I said, I've got some great other topics coming up. I'm going to be talking about humility. I'm going to be talking about how weather affects our feelings and our attitudes. And I got some more great stuff coming up. I've got some more people that I want to have be on my channel, being a guest. And please, please, I appreciate all my subscribers. I appreciate everyone who watches. Click that subscribe button, like below. And if you're following Facebook, I post this every week after I'm done on Facebook, so that if you're not seeing it on YouTube or on the internet, please check on Facebook. I have a site out there. I post these every week. You can just click on the link and you can watch it again. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching this. And as we always say, here's my ending. Do it with me. We can do this. Have a great day too. We can do this. We got this. I can, and I will. So can you. So until next time, 4 o'clock next Saturday, Eastern Standard Time. Take care of yourself. Have a great Father's Day. Stay safe. And remember, we will be here, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.